Great Ninetales! You are so cool!
Ninetales, Alola form, the fox Pokemon, an ice and fairy type. This peaceful Pokemon is known to rescue people from treacherous mountain accidents.
Warning! Do you believe in fairy tales? It's a fairy type, it's Ninetales. We get the item, we don't fail. With mysterious lead, we prevail. So first we got Vulpix. The combos are endless. We're beacon, it makes sense. Breaking is now past tense. We can bear with almost everything. With Buzzwole, it's B-string. Rare cannons and stage 2s and counter gain. That's totally a thing. Ultra Beast, look out. 3-1 shot, there's no doubt. Wanna know what it's all about? Our GX move will make you shout. Yo, bring out those Rayquazas. Hitting for weakness is totally awesome. Metal might cause some problems, but thanks to Bloodcephalon, they're not common. Need a max potion, we got it. Need that choice, but we gotta put away that shrink us field blower, we already got it. So let's get this review started. It's one of the cards you wanted. It's almost here and it's insane. The price on the market, yeah. Episode 193, Alolan Ninetales GX. Let's rock. What's up YouTube, it's TCG here and welcome to episode 193 on my channel. As you know, on my channel we talk about the latest cards and best new decks in town, so be sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out. And also hit that little notification bell so you'll get notified immediately when a new video pops up on the channel. Alright, today we continue our coverage on the new upcoming GX cards from Lost Thunder. That way we can already start preparing ourselves for some epic new deck ideas when the set finally gets released on the 2nd of November. And today on the menu we have probably the best GX cards of all of them, Alolan Ninetales GX. This card has a ton of good things going for it, and today you'll find out what those good things are. Alolan Ninetales GX is a 200 HP Fairy type stage 1 GX Pokemon, which is on par with things like Sylveon GX on the HP department, and we also hit for weakness against things that are weak to Fairy, things like Rayquaza GX. Not the best HP either, because there's a Pokemon out there with 210 HP like ZERAORA GX, but not the worst either, since there are also things like Banette GX with 190 HP, so it's actually kind of good. The big trouble here is of course our weakness to Metal, because the new Solgaleo GX promo card can one-shot us, Stack Attack GX can cause some havoc, and also Magnezone focus decks will really hurt us. It has a resistance to darkness, which is really awesome because ZERAORA GX is still really popular in today's format, but we will get two-shotter regardless with Righteous Beating, so it doesn't even matter too much unless we play the Sudowoodo from Guardians Rising to lower their bench space. But the next set in February will be focused on Darkness Pokemon, so the resistance will definitely come in handy at one point. The retreat cost of 2 is actually a bit awkward, since it might get stranded in the active position from time to time. Lucky for us, we have Guzma in the format, so we don't have to worry about it too much. And also, if you get out the second Alolan Ninetales GX, you can rely on the ability to get yourself a switch, but more on that later. Okay. I just want to say this, this is going to be one of the best abilities we have, of course, on a GX card, and the ability is what I like most about Alolan Ninetales GX. The ability Mysterious Lead states, once during your turn, when you play this card to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may search your deck for 2 item cards, reveal them, and put them directly into your hand. And this is so good. Why is that? Well, you can just search for anything you want. Do you want a B-string at the time where you want to use it? Well, no problem. You evolve into Alolan Ninetales GX, bang, you can start using B-string if the opponent has 3 or 4 prize cards remaining. So you can just search out those item cards at a specific point in the game. Do you want a rare candy to evolve into your stage 2? No problem, Alolan Ninetales GX cuts your back. Do you want a Lysander effect as an item card? Well, you can also rely on Custom Catcher, which is actually very great, because if you have 2 of them in the hand, you can just have that, how do you call it, a gust effect immediately, so that's very great. Alolan Ninetales GX is very good. Or how about Counter Gain, which lets us attack for a colorless energy less if we're behind in prize cards? No problem, you can just get every item card you wish straightly from the deck, and that is amazing because almost half of the deck is about item cards in the end, so it's very nice indeed. Also, did I forget to mention that you can also rely on the Alolan Vulpix from Guardians Rising, which has the attack Beacon, which you can use for 0 energies, and it lets you search your deck for 2 Pokemon and let you put those directly into your hand. So the synergy is just right there. You can get yourself Alolan Ninetales GX, a stage 2 for example, and the turn after that you evolve, bang, you got Alolan Ninetales GX, the rare candy comes flying out of the deck, and out of nowhere you can get your stage 2 up and ready. I think this ability is so versatile that I would already run Alolan Ninetales GX purely for the ability. And the Alolan Vulpix is also easy to get out thanks to cards like Brooklyn Hill, Nazbol, to just get yourself that amazing early lead with Beacon. But not only that, we're also getting a new supporter in Lost Thunder in the name of Professor Elm's Lecture. That supporter lets us search our deck for 3 Pokemon with 60 HP or less and lets us put those directly in the hand. So you can see where this is going. You can use that support to get yourself a Alolan Vulpix, maybe some other Pokemon with 60 HP. Think about ZERAORA, Rowlet, Rockruff. I could keep going, but there's a lot of weak basic Pokemon that that have actually 60 HP that require us to get them out for our setup. So Alolan Ninetales GX will cover that just fine. If you just evolve afterwards, you can get your stage 2s or stage 1s out immediately, because yeah, if you evolve, you can get your Ultra Ball, your Timer Ball, whatever you want, thanks to the amazing mysterious lead. But now let's move forward to the attacks. White Silver Wind is the first attack, and it deals 70 damage to the active and 30 damage to one of the opponent's bench Pokemon. This is quite an amazing attack for a Fairy and a Carlos energy, because it reminds me of a Night Spear in a way. It's an energy less, but it deals actually 70 and 30 on the bench instead of 90 and 30 on the bench. So, but if you just run a choice band, you can just one-shot threats like Rayquaza GX. Also, the extra 30 on the bench is really good early game, because as mentioned, there's a lot of things that have 60 HP. Think about ZERAORA, Inkay, and more. So you might be able to two-shot those weak basics if they do not evolve the turn after that. Now to the GX move, Submination GX, which is actually one of the best GX moves I've seen on GX cards. If your opponent's active Pokemon is an Ultra Beast, it is now knocked out. Dot. Holy macaroni, that is crazy powerful. And do you want to know why? Well, that's because Ultra Beast decks will be huge after Lost Thunder. Think about Buzzwole GX, which will see an increase in play thanks to Alolan Ninetales GX, more on that later. Ultra Necrozma GX, Duskmane Necrozma GX, the new Blacephalon GX we talked about recently. Well, you can just automatically one-shot all of those Ultra Beasts and then take 2 prize cards as an achievement. So that is very great, and you can even do that for 1 attachment if we rely on counter gain, which can be easily searched out if we evolve into Alolan Ninetales GX, and if we're behind in prize cards, evolve into Alolan Ninetales and grab that counter gain for a single energy like a Rainbow Energy or a Unit Energy. We can just destroy an Ultra Beast Pokemon. So I do think that Alolan Ninetales GX will see a ton of play in different decks. In my opinion, a 2/2 line of Alolan Ninetales GX is the best number to run in your deck, since you will mostly use it for the ability or as one of your GX moves. Let's explore a couple of deck ideas with Alolan Ninetales GX, shall we? First up would be Buzzwole GX, Lycanroc GX. This deck dominated last season and now it will be back in full force. It runs on Brooklyn Hill, so getting out Alolan Vulpix is a walk in the park. Again, the spread damage of Alolan Ninetales GX pairs really well with Buzzwole GX's Jet Punch, and as soon as you evolve into Alolan Ninetales GX, you can grab yourself those desired B-Strings to set up your board. Things about Buzzwole GX will be flooded with energies really quickly with that. No longer do we need to rely on Magcargo in this deck, because Alolan Ninetales GX actually has it all. If we rely on Unit Energy, we can cover the attack cost of both Buzzwole GX and Alolan Ninetales GX, so this deck will be really powerful. Not only that, if you rely on Lycanroc GX, you can target down anything you possibly want, but you can also do that if you run Custom Catcher. But I do think getting the Mysterious Lead ability, you should search out your B-Strings. So a very solid deck indeed, and has proven it to work if we look at the results in Japan. Next up is Zoroark Lycanroc, one of my personal favorite decks of all time. This deck can rely on the new Ditto Prism Star, which can evolve into every stage 1. Now that you can just run like things like 60 HP Rockruffs, you can just use Professor Elms, get yourself Ditto, a Rockruff, a Zoroark, whatever you want, and get out your basics. And again, Unit Energy can work perfectly here, since it covers all of your attack cost, and with the consistency that Alolan Ninetales GX brings, you can just get out your counter gain, your required Field Blower, Enhanced Hammer, and so much more. Alolan Ninetales GX also one-shots Ultra Beast, so that will increase your matchup against that. Will have a very great matchup against Ultra Beast decks. So Zoroark Lycanroc GX basically gets an extra attacker in the mix paired with more consistency. What more could you wish for, right? Next up is in a Gardevoir GX deck, and other stage 2 decks like the Decidueye GX as an example. You can rely on the 2/2 line of Alolan Ninetales GX to grab your desired rare candies, and I do believe that stage 2s will become a bit more viable thanks to Alolan Ninetales GX. You can use Beacon in the early phases of the game, evolve the turn after that, and suddenly your stage 2s will be on the field really quickly. I think the pure fairy deck like Alolan Ninetales GX, Gardevoir GX would be a really fun way to rely on the ability, since you can just use the way here with, you don't have to rely on Sylveon anymore. Just get of course your Alolan Ninetales out, bang, out of nowhere candies, and Gardevoir shows its face. And you can also search out your max potions with that mysterious lead combo, so that's very, very interesting. So Gardevoir, Alolan Ninetales GX is definitely a great solid deck. Not only that, Alolan Ninetales GX with the Decidueye GX is very fine. You can maybe pair one copy of the Guardians Rising Alolan Ninetales GX that can just use Ice Blade to snipe around, and then other Alolan Ninetales GX to just get out your Decidueye GX. So it's going to be very, very fun to play with Alolan Ninetales GX, and we'll definitely see a lot of it popping up at future tournaments indeed. But right now, I want to know your opinion. What do you think about Alolan Ninetales GX? Will it see a lot of play, and what deck will you test it out first? Let me know in the comments section below. Anyway, this pretty much wraps it up for another weekly episode on the channel. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to demolish the like button, since that always helps out the channel tremendously, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. There's going to be TCG content almost every single day on the channel, so be sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out. Anyhow, thanks again for watching. I wish you all a very fantastic rest of your day. Stay fresh, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace. If you wanna go and test a deck that isn't played a lot in this format, then listen to what I'll say. If you wanna go and try it out with me, let me know how it does in a tournament. I think it could be really great. Chilling on Sundays while new ideas pop in my brain. Where is my